culpable. Why would she fight so hard? Why would her defense attorney fight so hard to get her use immunity?
This is Kelsey on the stand. Our interview that they were trying to refresh her memory many times with, she says our interview was not 100% truthful.
Yeah. Okay.
Does that make you feel good, brother? I'm not telling the truth. He said, whatever you're saying, I did not tell the truth. She basically said it and referred to it and kept almost looking at her lawyer to say, hey, if I answer this, am I getting fucked up legally?
Not another person.
I mean, he's not going to sit there and be like, yo, that was crazy that Kelsey shot. You know, he's going to say, yo, if he apologizes.
Really? You wouldn't? So you're in a situation, you're in a love triangle. You get a lot of women, right? I feel like, or you must. You talk about it all the time. You're in a love triangle. It happens all the time. One of the girls shoots the other girl. You're going to be like, I'm sorry. That's how it happened. You wouldn't be like, how fucking insane was that this crazy bitch shot you?
Conversations that he
Women, am I right? That's probably what you would say, right? Women, emotional.
Conversations he had, he's in custody and he's been recorded over the jail phone.
So why do you think? No, but why do you think Kelsey texted 911? Tory shot Meg.
So now you're moving on to argument.
No. I'm asking you. I legitimately want to know, why do you think Kelsey originally texted that?
If you can see this point, because you're saying what the text from him should be, I'm telling you why it's not like that.
No, but tell me that. Just, I want to know what you mean. Why do you think Kelsey texted 911, Tory shot Meg?
Hold on. So by us moving to this, I'm going to answer it. I'm feeling like you're conceding that other point, because what you're saying would be idiotic if you know you're calling off of a jail phone to say, hey, isn't it crazy when you got shot by so-and-so? You might as well give a fucking statement. Okay, if you're conceding that because
so you think Tory was protecting Kelsey? That's what you're saying,
he's a rapper, bro. He's a rapper. He cannot snitch. That is career suicide. Of course, he's not going to go ahead and incriminate someone else. He's a rapper, bro.
Answer the other one, because I have an answer for the other one.
He can't do that.
Okay, that's why. Okay, got it.
That's not. Every rapper that gets caught cooperating with the police or snitching or doing anything that might put someone else in jail, their career is ruined. So
I don't know if their career is ruined. They can still go on DJ Akademiks' broadcast like Tekashi does all the fucking time. You know what I mean?
Are we going to the facts here, or are we going to try to make side jokes?
Is like a troll. He's like no enough troll.
Yo, this guy doesn't quite like to talk about the culture or anything like that, bro. Dude, your facts, bro, are non-existent, bro.
Like you're deflecting crazy. You're just deflecting.
I'm not. I asked you a simple question, and nobody was able to answer this question. It's a super simple question. It's so direct. Why did Kelsey text 911? Tory shot Megan. If that's not the case, it's 3v1 now. By the way.
I'll answer that question, but I'm going to just assume that because you diverted, you basically you bowed out of that.
I mean, you can assume whatever you want to, but just give me the answer. I just want to know. I'm like genuinely interested in your perspective.
Now I'll answer that question, but I really could just ask a question to answer, but I'll just answer myself. If I was the best friend of someone who just got in a drunken fight and I unfortunately shot at my best friend, okay, she got hurt. If I'm the closest person to her team, you think I'm going to text her team, hey, I shot Meg? Come on now. Would you text that?
So in that situation, you think a text message is necessary, right? Like you're saying that the text message is necessary. She's belligerent enough to fucking grab a gun, shoot Megan Thee Stallion, but then also somehow has it all together. I guess like the adrenaline kicked in and all of a sudden she just like remembered the consequences of her actions and decided to very cleverly and devilishly text this ruse, even though Tory Lanez on Instagram comments has also said that Kelsey had not shot Megan Thee Stallion. And it like, so clearly, like no one has said Kelsey shot Megan Thee Stallion. That has never even been brought up except for the blogosphere.
Are we going to hold what Tory said on Instagram, which we don't even know if that's him controlling his page? We're going to hold him liable for that, but we can't hold Meg liable for saying out of her own mouth a different story.
Well, I mean, it was used. It was used, from what I understand, when an LAPD detective, Warren Eberhard, took the stand to testify that Tory Lanez's verified IG account once commented on a theory that Kelsey was the shooter, saying that's not true.
Okay, perfect. I'm glad you said that. Now, this incident happened 2 years ago. They asked that same detective, when did you see that message? Did you You check the IP address of where it came from because you could have an Instagram account and somebody could access it from Zimbabwe. Somebody could access it from Costa
So
Rica.
you think a hacking happened? That's why Tory Lanez, or you think Tory Lanez's Tory Lanez's interns are fighting against Tory Lanez is what you're saying?
Mid-trial, when Mo went live, Tory Lanez's Instagram joined live. You think Tory's in court joining live?
I don't. But do you think someone with access to Tory's? Why is someone with access to Tory Lanez's Instagram account defending defending Kelsey?
I'm not saying you can't use that as some type of proof, but number one, you saw it a week ago before trial when you had 2 years to see it, right? Number two, you made no fucking effort to try to at least go out of your way to prove that he's the actual one that posted it.
Well, to be fair, I don't think they needed that because ultimately it wasn't Kelsey that was on trial. It was Tory Lanez on trial because, again, going back to the main thing, the 5 points that the prosecution laid out was pretty open and shut. Oftentimes, cops not very good at their jobs, okay? I can't talk about feds. I don't know how Myron was, but clearly he wasn't that good because now he's doing a fucking PUA podcast. However, okay. However, this is one of the instances where it literally doesn't seem like they had a lot of evidence, right? They had the witness who survived.
Petition more than you, brother. You gotta run for office. Like the way you're able to duck out of shit.
Mean? There's five points of evidence that are so conclusive.
You move to another one, and then when we try to get you there, you flip to this.
Bro, your counter was someone from Zimbabwe might have fucking controlled his account. The reason why they didn't even have to fucking find this is because they already had 5 points of evidence that was so damning in a situation where it was Tory Lanez versus Megan Thee Stallion.
We're being stupid. You cover all type of shit, even if you're covering like the search warrants that was like executed in Mar-a-Lago. Come on, you know if you're gonna use someone's social media writings and presence, nigga, at least motherfucking execute a warrant. Instagram is gonna show you exactly where it came from. They took a screenshot from the shade room. Is that what you want the fucking government to be putting people in jail for?
Again, it's the reason why they didn't conduct that level of investigation on that regard was because, again, there was no like Kelsey is the actual shooter theory. There was no evidence that Kelsey was the actual shooter. One of the most damning pieces of evidence was also Kelsey's own fucking text message saying 911 Tory shot Meg.
If the police haven't done their due diligence and done their fucking job, you want us to consider some shit off Instagram? At least fucking run a warrant, okay? At least get the information in a right format that the jury could have some validation to the shit you're presenting. You're presenting shit like a blog. Unfortunately, Akademiks has no there's no fucking. You have
Akademiks. You understand? They didn't need to do that because it was
said it in court. Yeah,
but they didn't. But you know that they didn't need to do that. You know what I mean? Like they didn't need to. You understand why I'm saying they didn't need to, right?
But you're actually relying on it to make your point. So if they didn't need to do it, why are you relying on it to make your point?
Well, I'm bringing it up because I think that it's already there's already enough evidence, as I've shown time and time again, as to why I feel the way I do about the situation. I'm not even getting emotional about this. It seems like you are a little bit.
Here's the thing. Let me take this, bro. Let me take this. I
like the bottom
attacks, which is fantastic. But you know what? Let's go over each piece of evidence and actually talk about each piece of evidence with facts versus you making jokes ad hominem attacks. Number one, the jail call. He never actually admits to shooting at Meg. He's just profusely apologizing. The text message. Kelsey says, Tory shot Meg. When they tried to bring in the witness to actually receive the text message so they can get some context, he didn't want to come in and testify. I wonder why. Also, the text messages between Meg and Tory, we don't necessarily know if he was apologizing for outing Meg Thee Stallion and her promiscuity in the past along with her friend, or if he was apologizing for Kelsey and Meg fist fighting because starting that conversation initiated the fist fight, or her getting shot. We don't know what he was apologizing for.
Yeah, but you're making an inference. You are the one who's making an inference off of that, though.
I'm inference off of what exactly?
Like you are using that, like that in and of itself, apologies in and of itself, depending on which state you're in, are not admissible as evidence in court because of the things that you just mentioned, right? Like, from what I understand, I don't think they're admissible as evidence in court. I'm not using that as like evidence. I'm telling you that in and of itself, when we're having a conversation between normal human beings, is kind of odd. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because it's a weird thing to say when there's a much larger situation at play, right? What I mean by that is this: if someone is shot in your vicinity, oftentimes you would probably talk about that rather than apologize for like your own personal actions that are completely unrelated to that situation, right? That's what I was saying. Because if you were in that similar circumstance, you would probably bring up the shooting rather than fucking apologize for a minor argument that you had.
Let me finish my point. The reason why, okay, he apologized, there's so many different reasons he could be apologizing for. It could be for them getting in a fight. It could be for him revealing Meg's promiscuous past. It could be for Kelsey hitting her or whatever it may be, her getting shot, hurt him.
But if someone is shot, that's the main point of contention. That's the main point of consideration.
That is the main point of consideration. Of course, though, you got to look at all the other underlying facts as to what he could be apologizing for. He could be apologizing for hitting on Kylie Jenner in front of her.
Yeah, that's why I said like common sense, right? Like that's why I said if someone was shot and it was completely outside of your control, you wouldn't say, "Oh man, I'm sorry that like things got out of hand." You'd say, "That's crazy that she shot you."
He can't say that, Hassan, because he's a rapper and his ability, right, to sell records and make music.
Come on, we're making a lot of inferences that are like.
It's common sense, bro.
How is that common sense, bro? What the fuck? If he's a rapper, why is he apologizing? That also makes him look bad.
Yo, that's crazy. I can cite about 5 other cases. I can cite 5 other cases where a rapper who should have knew information about what actually happened, even if it happened to their own friend, just shut up. Most notably, who his bodyguard, one of his best friends, got killed. The bodyguard's mom was crying in court. Hey, why don't you cooperate? He didn't say anything. That's just what it is. Like,
I know. They're not. He's not snitching, but there's a difference between like saying it in court and saying it to the person that you're having a conversation with. If you're having a text message conversation at that time, when you think that like you have an ongoing relationship with that person, so much so that you're trying to fix it by apologizing to them, you would probably fucking, still feel comfortable enough to be like, how crazy is it that Kelsey shot you? Is what you would say.
You keep neglecting the point I made. One of the conversations, right, is Tory incarcerated calling on a jail phone. Why would he say anyone's name? You think he's in YSL? No, he's not going to say anything. Hey, I'm sorry, this has happened like that. No more details, no more, no little, whether it was you or not. If you ask anybody from the urban hip-hop culture, they would probably say you shouldn't even make the call.
Yeah.
Whether you have remorse or not.
And also, Lasan, I think you don't know a culture like that in terms of like hip-hop and the whole rap industry. However, if he snitched in the very beginning, this would all be settled. He didn't say anything because he knew his career is on the line. Now, regarding
his career is still on the line because, he didn't really have a career, let's be real. But, 2016 is the last time he was popping off. But
Tory's a big ass artist. What are you talking about? He's huge.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Now listen to someone does not necessarily negate the
Wait,
fact
can I
that
ask something? Your co-host, how old is he?
How old you think I am, bro?
I have no idea. I have no idea, but like you said Lasan, so I assume like 14.
Is that your name, bro?
Yeah, bro, come on, dude. You are a whole grown-ass man fucking using memes that 14-year-old white boys use on the internet. That is fucking embarrassing. Not to dismiss everything about you. You think that's a good first impression, dog? That is fucked up. You got a whole ass show for yourself, too? Woo!
Honestly, you're still wrong, bro. It's just hilarious, bro. The chat's
Yeah, go back. Talk about how Chad is defending you.
Phone calls, okay? He never overtly said, hey, sorry for shooting you. And there's a bunch of situations that he could have apologized for. So that's number one. So we don't know exactly what he was apologizing for. And keep in mind, Hassan, it is on the prosecution to prove that Tory is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. So that's ambiguous. It isn't clear. Then on top of that, we got gunshot residue not only on Tory, but we have it on Kelsey as well. Not to mention that Kelsey and Meg Thee Stallion got in a full-on fledged fist fight prior to the shots going off. That is a fact that's been confirmed by Kelsey, and it got confirmed by Sean Kelly. Kelsey downplayed and said it was just a bump. However, they were 100% fist fighting to the point where a pendant was found.
We already talked about Sean Kelly's testimony being inconsistent. I don't know if you were there for that, but like did he wake up the gunshots, or was he just like parked on the fucking street, just watching the street for no reason, and then happened to be a scuffle there?
Also admitted they fought though. So that's what solidifies it. Kelsey also admits they fought. She downplayed and said it was just a bump, but the evidence shows otherwise. Your nail and everything. If someone just bumped you, your nail wouldn't fall off. And your pendant. They were full on fist fighting.
I mean, look, I don't know the exact details, you know? I mean, look.
You don't know the details and you're talking. That's the problem.
Well, ultimately, I know what they discussed in the court case, and I know that there was enough evidence.
Out of your wheelhouse here.
You can say that all you want, but it doesn't seem like it, especially with this 3v1 situation. You guys still look really silly, ultimately. They might be saying something different in your chat right now, but, you know, outside of your hug box, I doubt that is what's going on. Now, having said that, how is this your wheelhouse? I do not know. I mean, you're a Fed and you don't even fucking understand how the Fifth Amendment works, so maybe that's good that you're no longer a Fed, probably.
Here's the thing, bro. The Fifth Amendment only works if...
Oh, we're back to this. There's a Supreme Court case, dog. What the fuck are you talking about? There's literally
You need reasonable expectation that you can be culpable criminally to be able to assert the Fifth. Because if that was the case, right? If that was the case, then everyone would just be like, "Oh, I'm just going to stay silent," and no one will talk in court.
Facts,
dude. I'm losing my mind. If the Fifth Amendment worked in the way that, dude, I know you have like cop brain, right? Because you're like you can't get out of the cop situation. But if the Fifth Amendment worked that way, it would literally imply that everyone who pleads the Fifth would be guilty. It would ruin the Fifth Amendment.
Yeah, Hassan, real quick, because I notice you do this a lot. Like, you throw mad ad hominem attacks. Like, I think he's getting straight at least on mine. He's getting straight at.
Okay, bro, it's 3v1. I'm starting to lose it a little bit. I was respectful at the beginning, but also your fucking 40-year-old co-host called me Lazan like he's a fucking child. Come on, don't talk about ad homs right now.
Federal agent, bro. How old are you? 12? Nigga, he's serving our country. You making fun of him? You're a lame, bro. Oh, Hassan, nigga, that's your fucking name.
Oh, dude. Thank you.
You don't even know,
bro. Thank you for serving our country, sir. Thank you.
I've actually, you're right. I've witnesses. I've been in federal court several times. I've testified hundreds of times.
You still don't understand the Fifth Amendment? That's crazy to me. Like, that is actually crazy.
Bro, you don't understand the Fifth Amendment.
Facts.
You cannot randomly assert the Fifth Amendment unless you have reasonable expectation that those statements that you're about to give can incriminate you. That is the same exact reason why Gunna will not be able to use.
You keep bringing up Gunna. This is unrelated. You can literally plead the Fifth regardless. Okay, you can plead the Fifth regardless. It is the law. Okay, it is a right that you have. It's not even the law. It's a right. It's a constitutionally protected right.
You can be held in contempt of court. You can be. There's issues that could arise from that if you don't act. If there's no reason.
Oh my God.
To be used against you. That's what I'm trying to say.
I know what you're trying to say, but you're wrong. And I told you that there is a Supreme Court case on this exact issue that you're talking about. I also literally gave you the exact reason as to why it doesn't work that way. Because if it worked that way, then everyone would just assume you're guilty all the time, every single time you pled the Fifth, which would literally destroy the Fifth Amendment in general.
That wasn't his point, and even when I said that was my point, right? Is of course clean the Fifth Amendment.
No, because you're inferring that she is guilty, and you're also adding additional reasons as to why she might be guilty. You're speculating why she might be guilty, and saying that that's enough for reasonable doubt. Of course, it's not enough for reasonable doubt. She already gave her original testimony.
Yo, I know me in particular said that by pleading the Fifth, you could infer that that person believes that maybe something they could say could be used to prosecute them.
I know, but jury cannot deliberate off of that. They can't make inferences in the same way that you are currently. Okay, so if you want to tell your audience, you want to educate your audience on how it actually works, instead of listening to Myron and his assessment of the matter, the reality is that when someone pleads the fifth, you cannot assume that they are possibly guilty. Myron is absolutely wrong on this. Okay, you cannot speculate that someone is guilty.
That only extends to Tory Lanez because Tory Lanez is the one on trial, not Kelsey, bro. Okay?
No, it literally doesn't matter. You're wrong. An innocent party. No, that's not true. You're wrong. You're just wrong. You do not understand the law that you are supposedly protecting at the point.
Yo,
Dude, Hassan. The only person that can assert that Fifth Amendment without being judged is Tory Lanez because he is the one on trial, not Kelsey. If that was the case, Kelsey would not have asked for immunity. That is the difference. And the jury can absolutely use the fact that she took the Fifth Amendment in their defense.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, like we know cops are bad at fucking knowing the law, right? But I really thought feds would be a little bit better at this. You are wrong. It does not matter if she's on trial or not. She, as an innocent third party, absolutely has the right to plead the fifth because she thinks she might be. It doesn't matter for what reason, okay? And the jury cannot deliberate or infer or speculate any sort of guilt off of that, because if that was the case, then you would undermine the entire reason behind why the Fifth Amendment exists to begin with.
How about I bring a lawyer in here and show you that you're wrong?
Ooh,
how about I bring a lawyer in?
Yo, Hassan,
if you want, but it's the Constitution and the Supreme Court case, Ohio v. Reiner, is pretty fucking clear on this. It doesn't matter what a lawyer is going to tell me. Now we're making it 4v1.
Wait, Hassan. I'm just mentioning the fact, right? So, in the closing by George, which is Tory's lawyer, he did ask the jury to consider why did she need to plead the fifth. She need immunity, actually needed immunity, right? So they brought that up, and also I probably forgot the first thing I was trying to say. So after she got immunity, like the judge, she did try to plead the fifth while on the stand still, and the judge forced her to answer a few things.
Yeah. I just understand, like, Lasan, just to make this very clear, you're telling us that you've never been in the courtroom yourself, telling us about the Fifth Amendment, and we have an ex-Fed here telling you to your face what it is. This is a dumb argument, bro. I mean,
I really hate to say this, but yes. First of all, yes. Unfortunately, the reality of the situation doesn't change when you tell me that someone has been a Fed. And that is the reality. Like, I know you're trying to desperately at least like create some position of authority here, but that doesn't change the reality of what I'm telling you. Yes.
You're Googling answers, bro.
And it is surprising. It is surprising to me as well. I mean, okay, yeah, I'm a Googling expert, I guess, but ultimately I'm still correct and you're still incorrect. And also, you're not the Fed, so I don't know what the fuck we're even talking about this circumstance. I'd rather be a Googling expert that is correct than be the second in command next to a Fed who is incorrect.
You're still wrong, though.
Okay, I'm beginning to like you. I'm my bad. I take it back. You're dope. You're fucking dope. You're dope.
Conversation.
You're dope. You're dope. You're dope.
Has been derailed about this one particular meeting.
Well, it's a big piece of your argument is that like her testimony was like inconsistent when she didn't offer additional testimony.
These guys are having a back and forth right there. I was allowing that to happen. That was part of his argument. But like even without that being said, I mean, are you saying that if he can't argue that his point was invalid?
What point?
The point that he was arguing with you about why her testimony, number one, might just look a little shaky.
She's not a credible witness, son. At the end of the day, bro, she's not a credible witness is my main point.
I don't agree with that. I think that she was a credible, she was initially, when the investigation was being conducted, she was absolutely a credible witness. She might have changed her perspective for reasons that she also included having postpartum stress, postpartum disorder, being depressed because of a death in the family. But ultimately, her new testimony is less, which wasn't anything, it was just her pleading the fifth, is less conclusive than her original testimony, which is why they played the original testimony in court.
Dude, quite literally,
he said they asked her to stand. Hey,
like you're pulling her less credible moments now rather than the moments where she had more clarity back then when she talked to the cops.
Well, I'm going to rely on when she's under oath. I'm going to rely on when she's under oath rather than when she's doing a phone interview with the. It's not the cops; it's the prosecutor. She never talked to.
Yeah, it's the prosecutor.
The lead detective got put on administrative leave. She was going to show up via subpoena. They postponed it to December, and because they haven't talked to her in such a long time, because they've been requested to try to talk to her, they say, "Hey, let's get something on record." And that's when the prosecutors, who you could ask Myron, even though you feel like he's not credible, you could ask the prosecutors actually do these interviews frequently with people who are considered witnesses, or is it an agent or a detective? You get what I mean? This whole thing, like
prosecutors are literally just another arm of the criminal justice system alongside cops. They're not in contention with one another. They are, unless we're talking about very unique instances where they're like prosecuting a cop. They're not.
That's not how information is usually gathered.
And also, she didn't recant any of her. She didn't recant any of her prior testimony. She only said, like you also pulled up, that she does not want to offer any testimony now. That's it.
By the way,
she can't recall, and she can't recall.
Okay, all right. So
a lot of the things that she had said, and a lot of things that had happened.
That, how about we also mention that she also said on the stand that when they asked her, "Hey, are you intimidated by Tory being here?" She said, "No." Are you intimidated by whatever? She says she's only felt pressure coming from the prosecutors. That's why they had a sidebar right after the jury left, and the prosecutor basically said in open court that they felt offended that they're being accused of trying to either coerce a witness, which they believe they did do. Then they later got permission to play her initial interview, and they got permission to play the interview to show that she was not under duress when she gave it. But what did she say in court? She said if she was feeling uncomfortable, it was because of the pressure from the prosecutor. I get it. You are selective with what you're going to believe.
No, I'm just telling you. No, I'm not selective with what I'm going to believe. First of all, you're doing the exact same thing that you claim I'm doing, right? Like you refuse to, you omit certain details, or you have no answer for certain details, or when pressed on it, you say, "Oh, it's probably because he's a rapper." Like that's not even a good defense in any meaningful way. Like there are so many pieces of evidence in this entire process. There are so many pieces of evidence in this entire process. From number one, the witness surviving the shooting attempt and saying, "I was shot by this person."
Megan's not credible though.
But that's crazy. How can you say that? That's
okay,
dude. What the fuck does that even mean? Can you explain to me how? No. With a straight face, I want you to say a shooting victim is not credible when she is able to survive the shooting and offer testimony. That's crazy.
I will tell you why right now. She gave conflicting information on her Instagram lives with the Gail Knight interview versus what she testified to. On top of that, the prosecution gave a different story on opening statements than she did when she was on the stand, bro. That's what I'm trying to say. Meg is not.
What were the inconsistencies within what the prosecution said and what Megan Thee Stallion said? Not fucking Instagram lives and shit.
Let me tell you that. Don't worry, I already took notes because unlike you, I actually watched this case and I know the details.
Okay, I would. No, go ahead. Well, if I don't know any of the details of the case, why does it still look like you're having a hard time fucking convincing anyone of what happened, other than saying woman wrong, woman crazy, she was emotional, but also somehow Kelsey, also being a woman, may or may not have shot Megan Thee Stallion, but also had the wherewithal in that moment to like fucking turn around and text 911. Tory shot Meg.
Bodyguard to Meg's bodyguard. Yes. Meg's bodyguard, she said that.
Okay. Why did she say that?
Dude, there could be a multitude of reasons as to why she would say that. Maybe
Okay,
she was
give me
coming-
some. Give me some. That she was hysterical enough and drunk enough to shoot Megan Thee Stallion off of like some random bullshit. Okay, because like you say, or at least Akademiks said that it was random bullshit. Like Tory Lanez would never shoot Megan Thee Stallion over like being called short or being called not poppin', which is true. He isn't.
Let's talk about how Meg is not credible.
You're literally talking about a victim and making it seem as though the victim is like the actual criminal. She's not on trial, bro. What the fuck?
Right now, let me finish my point before you go crazy and just react versus
Yo, he's
actually
trolling.
what I'm saying. What I am saying is that she is not a credible witness because she lied in a public interview saying she did not have sex with Tory Lanez. Now, before we get out,
That's not. That is not.
let me finish. The reason why that is extremely important is because the entire fight is predicated on the fact that she had sex with Tory Lanez because she backstabbed her friend Kelsey. Kelsey went to Texas because she had COVID, and Meg Thee Stallion started a sexual relationship with Tory. That is why the fight ensued in the first place. That instance,
Yeah, but you know what? She still got shot though by Tory Lanez by her account.
So before
honest.
yo, he's giving the context.
No, that part doesn't matter. That part you can fucking make an argument is like a matter of personal privacy. So of course, what she's saying in public, in a fucking interview in public, when she's embarrassed to admit that she fucked Tory Lanez because he wasn't even popping, okay?
But that's the point I'm trying to make.
Entirely irrelevant. Like that's not something you can. That is the reason why. That is the reason why you can't. That's the reason why Tory Lanez lost. By the way, because that's what the argument the defense made. Okay, as though that was like a serious way to fucking defend this person.
Bro,
Like,
she was
that's not.
There's a picture of Tory and Megan Thee Stallion bent over with Tory. She's not embarrassed, bro. That's cap. So that argument is flawed. She's not
No,
embarrassed
I think
at all.
she's. Well, you know, you do things, and then you might be embarrassed by them afterwards. Is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like,
Hasan, that's cool. But the point I'm trying to make is that you cannot argue the point that her having sex with Tory is not a part of the case. That's very important because that's what led to the entire argument.
And public interviews and saying something in a public interview, especially when it's like, you know, the person who shot you
Hurts her credibility in a court of law.
Dude, that's crazy. That's crazy. It's like, no, you're not understanding what I'm trying to say here. Okay, I'm gonna say this again.
Sure.
What she said in the media, okay, is completely irrelevant, especially because it does not pertain to the one-to-one immediate fucking back and forth that occurred that night. Okay, it's not like she fucking lied about, she ever said like Kelsey actually shot me and then went back. If she had said that, then you have something. But her saying I never fucked Tory Lanez, he's 5'2", and he's got no fucking hits since 2016. That's irrelevant. That's not relevant to the subject matter at all. I know you want to make it relevant to the subject matter, but she didn't actually lie about any of the fucking information. The first time she actually made a statement, okay, to the cops was still to defend Tory Lanez, to say that she stepped on glass, even though that was not the case. You get that, right?
Good. That was a lie.
Yeah, of course. That was. And she admitted that. She admitted that she lied.
So what you're missing here is
That is more relevant. That is more relevant to the case originally. But it doesn't matter because she also mentioned why she did that. She also mentioned why she did that. Ultimately, it doesn't matter though, because if she's lying about that, if she's originally defending Tory Lanez, right? If she's originally defending Tory Lanez, okay, why did she turn around and blame Tory Lanez afterwards? What do you think happened there? Do you think it was because a criminal investigation was launched and then she had to fucking tell the truth? Despite the fact that knowing full well that there would be dudes like you that would come after her and be like, oh, she's a fucking liar, even though she got shot. Did she even actually get shot? Who knows? You know, yada, yada, yada. Like, probably she didn't want to rock the boat. She wants to do PR. She's popping off. She doesn't want this kind of fucking attention, which she admitted time and time again. She didn't want this kind of attention because she knew that she was going to get fucked over.
Be truthful. That does not absolve her of her responsibility to be truthful, especially when she is the prosecution's witness.
Wait, okay. Can I ask you a question? I have another question for you.
Credibility.
Is Megan Thee Stallion a rapper?
Yes, she is a rapper.
okay, maybe she wanted to fucking tell, maybe she didn't want to snitch because she's a rapper. Just like you said, Tory Lanez didn't want to snitch because he's a rapper. I think one is more valid than the other.
She already snitched.
She already snitched. What are you talking about?
It's too late. She already snitched.
Yeah, I'm saying originally she was like, I don't want to snitch because I'm a rapper.
Are not held
That's
to
probably
the
why.
ethics and codes that male rappers are. Nice try though.
Oh shit, dude. Yeah, that makes sense. That's just male rapper code. Okay, got it. Bro, come on. You argue with a 14-year-old Myron? Like, what do you mean? In my worldview, only male rappers have that snitch code. So there's a double standard there. Like, come
Hasan has practiced the shtick so good. He's like
on,
Thanos
dude.
at avoiding shit.
On.
I'm watching this.
I told you guys, if
listen
the
to
roles
this.
were reversed, I would 100% have the exact same fucking take. Okay? If Megan Thee Stallion shot Tory Lanez and the other party involved there was like, yo, Megan Thee Stallion shot fucking Tory Lanez, I wouldn't turn around and be like, let's look into this a little bit further. Let's be more skeptical of the narrative here. Like, that's crazy.
So basically,
like, you don't ever get a shut case like this, and yet, you still were able to simultaneously create a separate narrative here.
There is no separate narrative. It's been documented several times where male hip-hop artists have been asked, would you provide information to the police? And they would say no. Cameron famously went, I think it was either 60 Minutes or something, asked him, would you go to the police if there was a serial killer living next door? He said, no, I would just move. Okay? We gave the example of Busta Rhymes. T.I., his best friend got killed. He did not want to.
We're talking about completely unrelated things now.
Yo, Takeoff just got killed, and police are still saying Quavo is uncooperative. He don't want to talk to them, and his fucking nephew just got killed.
This is not like. None of this is relevant to what we're having a conversation about. You know that, right?
Because Tory's not going to go and say Kelsey shot her, bro. That's the point I'm trying to make here. Rappers understand that their image is everything, and cooperating with the police will destroy their ability to create music and sell records. And we're giving you these instances so you understand the severity of rappers coming out and providing information to police. Look at Gunna. As soon as he got released, he gave a statement.
You said this is only male rapper code, right? Like it's not female rapper code. Is that what you're saying?
Male rappers are held to a higher standard when it comes to the street code, when it comes to hip hop music.
Do you think there are no female rappers who've done that?
I'm sure there are, but there aren't the same consequences. Meg Thee Stallion still.
Hold on. Yo, Hasan.
This is crazy. Crazy conversation we're having.
Hasan, when it comes to females and possibly domestic violence, for example, when Rihanna came out saying Chris Brown did whatever to her, everybody heralded her as very brave.
Because she was fucking.
Hold on.
What do you mean?
Wait. Hold on.
Wait.
Why is your reaction? Hold on. Why is your reaction like I'm upset at it? No, that's how it should be. But I'm just showing you the difference between genders. That's the only point. You're saying you don't get the difference between genders.
You're bringing up a victim. Okay, bring up an instance where someone fucking was the victim. Okay, and they didn't go to the cops. But it doesn't even matter because. I
told you Blueface and Krishan Rock, but you don't want to get it.
Completely irrelevant to the conversation.
Blueface has shown up with two
plenty of female rappers like Lil Kim that also went to fucking jail for a year plus 1 day for lying on the stand to cover for her fucking friends. This shit doesn't fucking matter to the case overall. You're trying to create a narrative where it's like a men versus women thing, but it's ultimately about what happened.
If Blueface went to the cops, if Blueface went to the cops,
what happened on that morning?
If Blueface went to the cops for those 2 black guys his girl gave to him, we call him a snitch. If Jay-Z went to the cops after, if Jay-Z went to the cops after Beyonce's sister gave him a fucking 92 combo, it was straight chops straight to his chest. We call him a snitch too. That's what it is, bro.
Saying.
There is a difference between genders, brother.
Unless you're talking about like. You're trying to make the whole Tory Lanez apologized, but didn't say like, wow, that's crazy that someone shot you shtick by saying, oh, because like rappers don't snitch. That's not snitching. Going to the lawman is snitching. Saying what the fuck happened that night. That's crazy that you got shot. I can't believe this person shot you. That's not snitching. That's a text message between 2 friends at that time. Okay? You don't apologize to someone who is an enemy. You apologize to someone
we're going in circles. We're going in circles because I keep telling you.
Tory Lanez was apologizing specifically.
Yeah, but Tory Lanez is apologizing while in custody. If you're in custody, why the fuck would you drop a name? Why would you drop a name? If you get locked up for, let me see what type of guy you are, right? Say you're kicking it with your little high school buddies, and let's say, I don't know, maybe one of them has an illegal gun in the car, okay? You all are locked up. Would you call your other friend and be like, yo, do you know that Marcus had the gun in the back? Would you say that on the jail phone, brother?
Bro, you and I both went to Rutgers, dog. Okay, this whole like street cred shit is so stupid.
But
okay?
it's not. No, whoa, hold on.
Come on.
Wait, no, that's not about street cred. It's about, bro, it's about why would you say something on the jail phone? The statement you're getting that you're trying to use as two people privately talking to each other was recorded on a jail phone. You might as well just put it in writing for the jury. It's not like they ran a warrant on his phone later on and said this was a text message that you thought you guys were the only person going to see. Anybody who's got locked up or if people are doing crime, not saying that I was trying to say that you're a criminal or whatever, or neither am I. But here's the point. But listen, here's the point. You're acting like Tory should have said a name when he knows the fucking warden, or not the warden, but the person who is in charge of the jail is listening to his call.
I mean, he ambiguously self-snitched is what I would say, regardless.
By saying I'm sorry, but not saying what I'm sorry for, and you wanted him to say a name, so you wanted him to snitch regardless.
Also, I thought he texted her. Am I wrong? Is that incorrect? I thought he sent a text message as well.
He texted
anybody.
No, he texted one of them and he called one. He called one the night of.
Okay.
He called one the night of. Okay. And when he called the night of, he was in custody.
Wait. You know. So the texting is not a jail phone, right? Like, so why do you think he did that then?
Oh my God. You just, yo, Hasan, man. This is.
Well, I'm asking you a question. Come on. Why do you think?
Yo.
So the texting is not the.
Yo, Byron, you got it, bro.
He's not in custody. He's sending a text message. Why do you think he texted that?
Oh God.
I mean, that's a real. I can't ask you a single question without you being like, "Oh, I'm so good at fucking debating." Or something.
No. I don't think you're good at debating at all. Honestly, like,
you don't know the answer. There were so many different factors going on. The two best friends fighting, him hitting on Kylie Jenner right in front of her wanting to leave, and Tory not wanting to leave the first time. And
I know, but the main point of contention there is a shooting, right? Like the main point of contention there is a shooting. You're not bringing that up to be like, "Oh man."
Son, he could have been sorry that she got shot, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's a trigger man, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you. There were so many factors that went on that night that he could have apologized for. It doesn't necessarily have to be that it was just the shooting or him shooting at her. It could have been her getting shot by someone else. The apology is ambiguous.
So you think he said, sorry you got shot? By someone else.
Hasan, the reason why I'm like giving up and let Myron rock with it
like is because you think there was I'm telling you, maybe you guys have.
Hasan, the reason why I'm giving up and letting
here, maybe there's a third shooter.
Hasan, the reason why I'm giving up and I'm letting.
Who was at the grassy knoll? Who was at the grassy knoll?
Hasan, the reason why I'm giving up and I'm letting Myron rock because it reminds me because I watch a good amount of your content. And you sound like the same dude who was debating with Charlie Kirk, man. And I felt like you was just going in a circle while that boy was giving you the work. So I hear it now, and I'm like, yo, this is great. Let Myron deal with you because we're not about to just keep going in a circle, bro. Like I'm already dizzy, bro. You're refusing to even concede on small points that we can't even go forward, my nigga. Like it's like you're just trying to like.
I mean, but there's no. There are inconsistencies with respect to what. Kelsey said afterwards, but we've addressed them, right? Like I already addressed them. I told you the fact that I didn't address them. She addressed it. Like she said it. She said why she said what she said.
Whenever a witness has inconsistencies, that makes the witness less credible. Do you not understand that testimony needs to be uniform across all platforms? If you say one thing here, they get on the stand and give something here, that hurts your credibility. My
point is she gave nothing though on the stand. She literally said that she has postpartum and also on top of that had a death in the family and therefore she's having a hard time recalling incidents. And that in and of itself is an inconsistency, certainly, but it's one that has been addressed. And I think that it was enough for the jury to take account what she had said originally.
It does not absolve you of your duty to tell the truth as a witness. That hurts her credibility. So did Meg. I'm arguing simply this. Kelsey and Meg are not credible witnesses because they gave inconsistent stories pertaining to the shooting from the beginning, between Meg getting on IG Live and giving different recounts of the event, to her getting on a public interview on television saying she did not have a sexual relationship with Tory. And that was extremely material to the situation because a fight broke out, as said by Kelsey as well, due to Tory Lanez having a sexual relationship with Kelsey. So what I'm saying is that Kelsey and Meg are not credible witnesses. And then you add in the factor that they were all drunk.
Bro, you think Megan Thee Stallion is not a credible witness because she didn't want to admit that she fucked Tory Lanez? Like, that's crazy. Come on.
But that's a material
in a TV interview, like unrelated to the fucking court case. Come on, dude. That's like
related.
Bro. I mean, if that makes her unrelated, it's like, oh, you lied when you were 14 years old one time. So like, sorry, you got shot. You're not a credible witness to your own shooting.
Because she gave a differing story on a material fact in her own criminal investigation case.
No, that is not a material fact. That is not a material fact. A material fact would be, if you want to talk about material fact, you could actually bring up the fact that she originally said she stepped on glass. That's a material fact. That is inconsistent. A material fact is not saying I didn't fuck Tory Lanez.
That's important.